Hello Games have recently just released a bunch of patches for the experimental branch of No Man's Sky. Now within those patches was one where it fixed the ability of damaging your own freighter, because if you destroyed it you would crash out, and a lot of players unfortunately had this result. However, in today's video I have jumped over on experimental, downloaded all the latest updates, and I'm going to see if that major problem has been fixed. Now can I just ask that if by the end of today's video I have earned your subscription, then please hit that subscribe button down below, and also leave a like on this very video. It not only helps me out as a channel, but it also helps this information get out there to the wider No Man's Sky and YouTube audience. That way then people can take full advantage before they try and damage their own freighter and cause more problems. So for this experiment, I'm going to be using my heavily modified ship that has an amazing damage potential. That basically means that after a few shots, if I call in my freighter and attack it, it will do one of two things: either completely explode or it'll be absolutely fine. So let's start attacking my freighter now and see what starts to happen. So it looks like the freighter is in fact taking damage, and fingers crossed it shouldn't be. Yep, nope, my game has just crashed. Okay, so I'm back in the game now, and we're going to go ahead and try this again. But I want to try and catch the autosave feature in No Man's Sky once I'm out of the space station. So I'm going to call in my freighter once again, and I'm going to attack it once again. Hopefully I can catch that autosave. And my theory behind this is fairly simple. If I manage to catch that autosave, and then when I reload back in, I should get a destroyed freighter actually rendering. Okay, yeah, so my game just crashed out. That was expected. Now, look what's happened. My freighter icon at the very top is starting to flash in and out, and my game right now is currently processing at about 1 or 2 FPS, which is excellent. I'm not going to move anything just yet. I just want the game to kind of like settle down as much as possible, and then I'm going to see the damage. Now, what I suspect, before I even look at this, so this is the footage that you're seeing right now in my test footage. What I suspect is, just like with the Pirate Dreadnought in my last video, it spawns in like 50 or 60 freighters all at once, and that is what's causing this major issue. So if we have a look, there we go. So that is what a normal freighter is doing to everyone's systems, whether you're on PC, console, Mac, or whatever. Then this is what's happening to your system. You're actually crashing out. So what can you do about this? And just to speed this up, I'm going to show you what it looks like if I speed up the footage, because right now this is real time. This is exactly the way that I'm seeing it. Now in post right here, I've gone ahead and I've sped it up by 800 times to give you an idea of what's actually happening. And you can just see all the freighter pieces just all spawning from the centralized location at once, and it spreads out like a big balloon, almost like an exploding watermelon. So that's what's happening to everybody whenever they go ahead and try and destroy a freighter. But is there any way to try and get your freighter back? So I've started to run some tests, and I've got a method that is essentially, it's a band-aid on a really bad wound, but I'm going to show you how you could possibly try and fix this. So the scenario is this: if you've gone ahead and destroyed your freighter and somehow managed to load your game back, and you're able to go inside of the galaxy menu, if you're in space and it's chugging along like this, try and open up your galaxy menu. This should, by all accounts, open up a separate instance and load your game up as normal. As you can see, I'm not now lagging at all. And I want you to go ahead and warp to an entirely different system. Now, the very first thing I need you to realize is the freighter that you once had is gone, but just the look of the freighter, everything on the internal side of the freighter is still there. But you can't go ahead and warp into it, and I'll show you what happens right now. So let's go inside in the anomaly, land, and go to the big teleporter at the back and try and physically warp to your freighter. You'll see what happens. So here we go, we're going over to the freighter at the terminus here, and we'll just select on your bases, and then as you can see, this freighter is still in the previous system, so it's not moved anywhere. So when you go ahead and warp, you will most definitely crash out just like this. So the next thing I tried was I went ahead and I came out of the anomaly and went into a space station once I got back into game. Now, because I'm in a new system, in theory I should be able to call back in the freighter. However, this didn't work and I crashed out. So this is where I devised another method. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, whilst we can still fly around, we just can't call in the freighter and we can't try and spawn at the freighter. So what I went ahead and did was I went and flew around until I found another random freighter that just appeared, another NPC freighter that you can go ahead and purchase. It took a quick minute, but I managed to find ones that just started to spawn in. So it doesn't matter at this point which freighter it is, we just need to do our best to just get anyone, because we can always purchase the one that we want later on. But we need to try and fix this problem. So I went ahead and I landed on this freighter. It's not the best one, but just ignore that for now. When you're on the freighter itself, go and speak to the captain. Now, what you're able to do, obviously, is buy the freighter, because when you compare the freighter, it still shows that your ship is still there, technically. But, obviously, we can't spawn it in. So, we're going to give this captain the really bugged out dead freighter, and we're also going to transfer all of our items, buildings, whatnot, over to the freighter itself. So, you're not losing anything this way. You're not actually losing anything internally. And I'm also in an asteroid field, so I've got invisible asteroids, but that can be fixed quite easily as well. But still, everything has been transferred over now to this new freighter. So all we need to do is jump back into our ship and fly off into a new galaxy. Now, once we're in a new galaxy, I'm doing the galaxy jumping to try and give the game every opportunity to fix the bugged out code. So that's why we're doing so many jumps. So if we go ahead now and try and call in the freighter, there we go. You have a freighter once again, and like I said, you've transferred everything over internally that you had from your previous freighter into this new one. So that's you. It shouldn't now crash, and you can go on your merry way and play No Man's Sky until this is fixed. Obviously, if this has already happened to you and you just can't get into your game, then you are going to have to wait for that patch. But if you can still get into your game and just can't call in the freighter or anything else, then this is a great way for you to get your freighter back. You will have to go freighter hunting once again, but it still means you haven't lost any of your stuff apart from the freighter itself. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, guys, let me know down below, have you been affected by this major bug, and have you followed these steps to get your freighter back, or did you already know about these steps? Anyway, guys, that is everything from me here today, and as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.